Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to talk about exceptions and assertions in Python. An exception in Python is an event that disrupts the normal flow of a program. A program hits an unexpected condition, it terminates, and then shows an error to the user. So that is an exception, or we also call it an error. Here are some common error types in Python which we've seen already: the index error, type error, name error, which means that the local or global name is not found, syntax error, attribute error, value error, error, and a lot more. If you want to know all the types of errors, you can take a look at the Python documents. It's all documented in that paper, or in that document. So Python code can provide handlers for exceptions. The syntax for that is this: try, colon, and then there is a code block for the try, and then except, colon, and code block for except. Here, exceptions raised by any statement in the try code block is handled by, let's say we have any line here encounters an error or results to an error. Control or execution goes to the except body or except code block. It goes here, and this line is executed. Here is an example of handling a specific exception. Let's say this code block encounters an error. If the error encountered is value error, this except value error block will be executed. If the error encountered here in the try block is zero division error, exception will be handled by this code block here. And then if none of these two, exception will be handled by this last line here, this last code block. We can also add else body or else code block, and finally to our try except pairs. So here, if the else part, this is where we put the lines of codes or the code block that we want to be executed when the try body or the try block completes without any exceptions, or the try block did not encounter or did not result into to any exception or any error. And then the finally body or finally code block is executed after the try or except or else body. So this is executed whether the try block raised an exception or not. We often you put the cleanup code, like closing a file, in the finally code block. So what can we do with exceptions? We can fail silently by substituting default values and just continue with the program, which is actually not a good idea, because the user will not have knowledge or will not know that an error or a warning problem has occurred. We can also return an error value, and we can choose to stop the execution and signal an error condition or show an error message to the user. We can do this third option by writing the race exception statement, which has this syntax. So here we have race, the exception name, and inside parentheses we have arguments. Here we raise an exception when the program is unable to produce a result consistent with the function specification. For example, this one, raise, if value error and something is wrong, this is the error message that will be displayed. For example, let's say we have this function get ratios. If this try body results to a zero division error, this will be done. This body will be done. However, if it's not zero division error, this raise value error will be executed and will give this message get ratios called with bad argument. In Python, there is also what we call assertions. Assertions is a good form or an example of good defensive programmer. With assertions, we want to be sure that assumptions on the state of computation are expected. We use here assertion, we raise assertion error exception if the assumptions are not met. Here is an example. So for example, here we have a function average. And then here we have the assert statement, assert length grade. If this assertion is not met, the function ends automatically. It raises an assertion message or assertion error message, no grades data, and then ends. If this assertion is met, it just goes on to the loop, to the body of the function. So assertion ensures that execution halts whenever an unexpected condition is not met. So typically, it checks the input to the function, and then it may also check the outputs of a function to avoid propagating bad values to the functions that call that function. In this way, this helps the programmer locate the source of a bug easier, especially if the function expects some certain values depending on the assumptions behind the code design. So where do we often use assertions? Well, the goal basically is to spot bugs as soon as they are introduced and make clear where they happen. So this supplements testing because it will give a message that this part expects this certain value, for example. And then we use assertions to sometimes check types of the arguments or values, to check that invariants on data structures are met, and to check constraints on return values, and to check for violations of constraints on procedures. For example, we don't want duplicate values in a list. So we can have that restrictions inside in the function, and we can put assertion conditions to that. That's all for assertions and exceptions. and enjoy programming, debugging, testing your program. Have a nice day.